What if everything you ever dreamed of suddenly came with a price? No tricks, no magic, just yes or no. Choose carefully. Every answer changes your story. Here are the rules. Rule 1. You have 5 seconds to answer each question. Rule 2. Once you say yes or no, your choice is locked. Yes equals you accept the fantasy and its cost. No equals you stay safe in reality. Rule 3. Count your yes answers at the end.
Would you say yes to having super speed but never sleep again? Would you say yes to living on Mars but never see Earth again? Would you say yes to being able to fly but never touch the ground again? Would you say yes to reading minds but never speaking aloud again? Would you say yes to becoming invisible but always feel cold? Would you say yes to living forever but everyone you love stays mortal? Would you say yes to time travel but forget your past? Would you say yes to having unlimited wishes but lose one memory with each? Would you say yes to becoming the king or queen but live completely alone? Would you say yes to teleport anywhere but never return to the same place twice? Would you say yes to creating anything with your mind but never feel emotions again? Would you say yes to exploring the entire galaxy but never return to Earth? Would you say yes to controlling dreams but never dream yourself? Would you say yes to turning invisible at will but lose your reflection forever? Would you say yes to having magical powers but aging twice as fast? Would you say yes to becoming a mythical creature but never being human again? Would you say yes to talking to animals but no longer understanding humans? Would Would you say yes to living in a fantasy kingdom but never seeing modern technology again? Would you say yes to breathing underwater but never walking on land? Would you say yes to controlling fire but feeling constant heat? Would you say yes to having a dragon companion but never owning a pet again? Would you say yes to controlling the weather but always living in storms? Would you say yes to exploring alternate universes but never remember where you came from? Would you say yes to being able to stop time but aging while the world stands still? Would you say yes to creating new worlds but never living in them? Would you say yes to speaking every language but forgetting your own name? Would you say yes to infinite money but live in a parallel dimension alone? Would you say yes to reversing any mistake but losing one happy memory each time? Would you say yes to becoming the smartest person alive but never laugh again? Would you say yes to summoning any object you want but it disappears after one day? Would you say yes to controlling gravity but never walk normally again? Would you say yes to exploring ancient civilizations but being stuck in their timeline? Would you say yes to visiting fictional worlds but never coming back? Would you say yes to shape-shifting freely but forgetting who you really are? Would you say yes to endless happiness but forget what sadness feels like? Would you say yes to commanding an army of wizards but never fight for yourself? Would you say yes to seeing the future but never change it? Would Would you say yes to having perfect luck but no control over your choices? Would you say yes to eternal youth but never experience love? Would you say yes to discovering the secrets of the universe but never tell anyone? So, how many fantasy offers did you say yes to? Are you a dreamer who risks it all or someone who stays grounded? Comment your score below and get ready for the next impossible choice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. More yes or no coming every week.